After you've planed your board down, you want to go ahead and take it to the joiner. The joiner has two purposes. The first purpose is to get a nice smooth edge on one side, on one edge of the board. The other purpose is to get that same edge 90 degrees to the face. The face that you're going to get at 90 degrees to is the face that ends up on the fence. And you want to joint the best edge. If I'm going to look at this board, I'm going to put this edge down here and see there's a little bit of gap underneath the board here, but the rest of it's pretty good. A little bit of a gap there. Over here, it's also pretty nice. A little bit of a gap here and a little bit there, but it has this big knot that goes into the wood. So because it's about the same, except this has the knot, I would take this as the side that I want to joint. I would not want to sit there and joint the same edge over and over and over because my board would end up tapered. Instead, I'm just going to joint it one or two passes just to get this nice and flat, as well as 90 degrees to the fit to this edge to the face. Oftentimes people will say, well, I just want to take a 1/16 of an inch off, and because this joiner is set up to take off a 1/16 of an inch, we'll run it through here one pass. However, that changes the dimension in relationship from this edge to this edge and compared to this edge to this edge. It will be different. So then you would then have to take it to the table saw and rip it down to get it so that you have two parallel sides. Otherwise, you're going to have a tapered board. To turn up saw on here at our shop, we push the black button here, turn it off with the red button. Anytime you're going to use something that's going to be 4 inches or lower than 4 inches or lower, you're going to need to use a push stick. In this example, it's above the fence and it's more than 4 inches, so I'm not going to use a push stick. Instead, I'm going to push my fingers against it nice and low down here, so I'm pushing against the fence. I'm going to push against the fence here, put my thumb down and hold down here. My backhand is going to push it. I'm just going to walk through the joiner with it. If I put one of the mistakes people make oftentimes is put their fingers too high, and then they push out here, and now I don't have that 90-degree relationship. Instead, I want to keep it tight against the fence and walk it through. So it'll look like this. Now I'll take it back and I look at my edge, and I look good here, nice and tight, there's no gaps. I now put an X on this edge, and I know the next edge is jointed, and I take it to the table saw. If I wanted to join a smaller piece like this, I need to take a push stick and use a push stick to obey the 4-inch rule, put the heel of it down here, and I could use either a push stick to hold it against the fence here, or another block of wood to hold it here, just so that my hands stay away from that, 4 inches away from the blade. The blade is sharp and it moves pretty quick. The planer can do face grain, however, we don't allow you to do face grain because your hand could slip off as you're pushing it through and remove all your fingerprints. We don't want that to happen. So instead, we just use the planer for that.